For this week's report, a quick update on the seal spotted in the Squamscott River last month, a recap of the Festival of Trees, and information about the winter parking ban which is now in effect. For Exeter TV, I'm Bob Glowacki, and this is the Exeter Biweekly Report. Let's get started. On November 25th, a harbor seal was spotted in the Squamscott River in downtown Exeter. The seal has since been taken from the parkway to a rehab facility for further care. We reached out to the National Marine Life Center to check in on how the seal is doing.
My name is Lisa Becker. I work at the National Marine Life Center in Buzzards Bay, Massachusetts. I'm the director of the Marine Wildlife Rehab Program here at NMLC, and we rehabilitate and release marine mammals and sea turtles in order to advance science and education in marine wildlife health and conservation. We got a call from SSC with the question if we could take in a new patient, and we said yes. So then this harbor seal came to us Wednesday afternoon last week. So she's been with us pretty much a week. She was in very, very rough shape when she got to us. And we were definitely concerned. She was in critical condition the first few days. There was a lot more that was sort of going on with her, and that really compromised her health than it was first, known. When you see the animal from a distance and, without like the respective diagnostics, it's sometimes hard to tell like how sick that animal really is. The rehabilitation for our seal patients typically encompasses like a time frame of like 3 months. That's a rough estimate. It goes a little quicker for animals that are older typically, just because the focus is on bringing them back to health. But that's pretty much all there is. If we take in really young animals, like meaning seal pups that might still be nursing, then we have a whole nother component that is to teach these young pups how to hunt for fish. So that can sort of extend that process a little bit. So, those animals typically stay 3 months, maybe a little bit longer. But then again, some older animals, like also she's a little bit older, it might be less than 3 months. So I think for her, we might be looking at something like maybe 2.5 months, something like that, maybe a little bit shorter for Lucky. So the good news is she's responding to treatment. So our hopes have increased quite a bit over the last few days. Naming our patients is always an exciting process, especially for our volunteers. What we do at NMLC for seals is that we pick a naming theme for a whole year, together with our volunteers, with our supporters. We typically include the naming theme voting in our social media posts. So at the end of the year, it's actually coming up very soon, where we are voting on the new theme for 2023. So in 2022, people voted on the Muppets. So our theme this year was the Muppet Show. So we had to think really hard which name we would give to this female harbor seal weanling. So and we heard the story about the bald eagle that got sort of had a little situation with the seal about a fish. So because of that, we all together decided to name her Sam Eagle. Sam Eagle is a male Muppet, but we kind of modified it a little bit. So we're calling her Samantha Eagle. But the people that were involved in the admission of this patient were very, sort of excited to give her that particular name. So that's what we did.
If you're interested in learning more about the National Marine Life Center, you can visit their website at nmlc.org and follow their Facebook page for rehab updates. The town's Ring in the Season events kicked off the holidays last weekend with the annual holiday block party and the holiday parade. Here's a quick recap of the Festival of Trees, which was one of the main events there.
I feel like this year was a really successful year. We raised over $50,000, which is a record year. Last year, we had a record year, and I thought, well, we might not hit that again, and we surpassed it. I always say it takes a village, because from, Dan Jackson from RJ's donates all the trees. We have local organizations and school clubs, and just citizens from our area who decorate trees. Then we auction them off. There's 38 women on this committee, and they're amazing. And we could not do it with all the little pieces. They all pick something and just do it amazingly. We have people who come and buy trees, and when they check out, they say to us, I used to receive your vouchers because I was having a hard time making it, and I vowed I would give back. And so it's sort of this circle of giving. And one of the reasons that we picked the Community Children's Fund, CCF, as the group that we would donate our money to is there's a child who might not be able to buy a coat or boots or mittens, and they get to take a voucher and go buy a new coat. It's not a hand-me-down. It's not something that was gently washed. They get to get something new. We have a Facebook page. It's the Exeter Festival of Trees. And then through the Chamber of Commerce, we also have, it's the Exeter Area Charitable Foundation, EACF. We have a web page as well. I think for me, thinking that there are going to be over 700 or 800 kids in our area who are going to be warmer this winter because of the work that was done last week for the Festival of Trees. And I think that always makes me feel really good about going into the cold season and the holiday.
With winter comes the annual winter parking ban. Here's everything you need to know to help keep the roads free of snow this winter.
As winter approaches, the likelihood of a New England snowstorm is growing. The town of Exeter will send out snowplows in the event of a snowstorm. In order to keep the town of Exeter safe on the roads this winter, a winter emergency parking ban will be enforced. The winter emergency parking ban is in effect from December 1st, 2022 until March 15th, 2023, from 12 a.m. midnight to 6 a.m. Parking will not be allowed on town-owned streets and right-of-ways during this time in the early morning. The town has the authority to tow any vehicle in violation of the parking ban. There are, however, specific parking lots that are allowed to be used overnight. The allowed parking lots are as follows: the municipal parking lot on Water Street, the train station parking lot, the Front Street parking lot. This parking ban will allow the snowplows full use of the road to remove the dangerous snow and ice. Make sure to follow all parking guidelines put out by the town of Exeter by visiting exeternh.gov. Stay safe out on the roads this season, and happy holidays.
As the year comes to a close, we want to invite residents to send us video messages of their New Year's resolutions and holiday greetings. In the next sessions of the show, we'll be sharing these video messages. Check the description of this video for more information on how to submit your video messages. That does it for this week's report. Thanks for watching. Be sure to like, share, and subscribe to help us spread the word. We'll be back on December 23rd for the next edition of the show. For Exeter TV, I'm Bob Glowacki, and this has been the Exeter Biweekly Report. Have a good weekend, everybody.